We want to get Kosovo's perspective on this very clearly tense situation that you saw there. We're joined now by the Prime Minister of Kosovo, Albin Kurti. He's in Pristina tonight. Prime Minister, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us this evening. Tensions have been simmering now in the north for some time. Just explain to our viewers, Prime Minister, if you could, why you decided to send police forces and police units to the north of the country. Why did you feel that was necessary, sir?
On 5th of November last year, 4 mayors in the north belonging to one Serbian political party collectively resigned. And in December, because security conditions were not in place, we decided to postpone early elections by 4 months. So finally, on 23rd of April, we had them. The turnout was quite low because of the pressure, blackmail and threats from Belgrade to all Serbian citizens, and in particular those who were planning to run. And now we have 4 mayors whose legitimacy is low, but nonetheless, there is no one who is more legitimate than them. We have to have rule of law. We are a democratic republic, and we have to ensure that in the municipal buildings, which are property of the republic, there will be these Kosovar mayors who have been elected. On the other hand, we are facing not peaceful protesters. We are facing a mob of extremists. We are facing ultra-nationalist right-wingers who are being paid and ordered from Belgrade and who admire despotic President Putin. This is a fascist militia who attacked our policemen and NATO soldiers and journalists who were on the ground reporting there. Today is much calmer because they did not do attacks against our police and KFOR, but they nonetheless attacked few journalists. I want to have peace and security, but I believe that democracy and rule of law is the way forward. It is not possible in municipal buildings not to have elected mayor. Power in Kosovo cannot be gained by shock bombs and by crimes and by violence, only by elections.
And sir, do you have any proof that those that are being sent, that those protests that we were looking out there, some video which is showing our viewers, that did come from Serbia, that were sent by Serbia, the Putin allies? Do you have any of this evidence to show us?
We have dozens of video footages and photos which show Serbian militia being in the front line of a violent mob, and these are the people that we have identified that come from Serbia. Some of them also come from the north of Kosovo, but some of them come from Serbia. And we are a democratic pro-European republic. Our northern neighbor, Serbia, is a pro-Russian autocracy. So there is not much of democracy there, even though they have elections, since they have one party, one state, one leader, and they have ordered this so-called gendarmeria, how they call them, to come and do riots in north of Kosovo.
Let's talk about your 2013 agreement, because your predecessor, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Prime Minister, agreed to establish an association of Serbian municipality where Serbs, who of course are the majority, can be represented. Well, 10 years later, this hasn't happened. Why has this not happened, sir?
We have an agreement now with Serbia. We call it Basic Treaty. President of Serbia and myself, under the auspices of High Representative and VP Borrell and his special envoy for the Balkans, Lajčák, the text has 11 articles, 6 points in the preamble. We have an agreement. Part of this agreement is also implementation of all previously agreed deals of my predecessors. There are 39 altogether. 2 of them relate to the Association of Serb Majority Municipalities, which, however, did not pass the test of our Constitutional Court because it is framed within the spirit of territorial ethno-nationalism. I want to have self-management of Serbian community, as the Article 7 of our Basic Treaty says. I don't neglect and I do not deny previously agreed documents, but that's not the only one. We need a sequenced implementation roadmap for the entire agreement that we have done in February this year.
But do you then understand why Serbs boycotted the election, why they feel underrepresented?
We have Serbian community in Kosovo, which is 4% of population. 93% are Albanian, and the rest 3% are other minorities, Roma, Bosniak, Turks, Egyptians, Gorani, and we want to live in a multicultural society. But we cannot have a privileged minority because Belgrade is lamenting for loss of Kosovo in 1999 when NATO intervened to stop the genocide of regime of Milosevic. So Kosovo is a success story of NATO intervention. That is what bothers both Belgrade and Kremlin.
Joseph Borrell, who you mentioned there, Prime Minister, called on police to withdraw from their municipalities. Will you be withdrawing police from these municipalities?
Police should be in few of them in each municipality, like in every municipality in our republic. There are 38 municipalities altogether. But if there is a violent mob
I'm talking about
outside,
the north. I'm talking particularly about the north here, where we have seen tensions continue to rise.
As long as there is a violent mob outside of the building, I cannot have only few policemen. I need to have police who will defend rule of law, who will keep the order, peace and security, and municipality should be for everyone, not only for parallel structures of Serbia turned into criminal gangs, especially recently.
And very quickly, Secretary Blinken tweeted, obviously, given what we have seen, the tensions escalating, he's called on you, I think he actually included you in this tweet, to halt what he called these violent measures. We can see we strongly condemn the actions by the government of Kosovo that are escalating tensions in the north and increasing instability. We call on the Prime Minister to immediately hold these violent measures. What are you then doing, sir, to stop this from escalating if you're going to continue putting police on the ground in these municipalities?
All international bodies did recognize elections that we held. Once you recognize the process of elections and its results, then mayors have to go to municipality. Who else should be in these municipality buildings if not the mayors? And I'm working closely with international factors, especially with the United States and European Union. We consider both of them indispensable allies, friends, and partners, and we will do our best. But I am not surrendering Democratic Republic to fascist militia.
Prime Minister Kurti, great to have you on the show. Thank you very much, sir.